Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. My name is Edie Ann. I was asked to do this video, and so I am going to provide you with details about endoscopies and colonoscopies. Stay tuned. So I had been asked by actually a few people, which I was quite surprised about, to do a video basically describing the process of a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. Now, I'm not going to give you the details because I was sleeping, which is a good thing. And there may be a little bit of potty talk. It doesn't bother me. It's just if you're listening and you don't want to hear anything about the potty, then you might want to turn off the video. So the way that it worked for me is I had an afternoon appointment for my procedure. It was 11 o'clock on Friday. And so when I saw the doctor, he gave me this very large jug. It was a gallon. It was empty with just some powder on the bottom of it. I think it was called NuLytely. And it's a prescription, so only a doctor can give it to you. And it was something that I needed to fill with water up to the line and shake it really, really, really well. I did that and I put it in the refrigerator. Now it says not to prepare it more than 48 hours in advance. So I did it that morning. So Thursday morning, Friday was my procedure. Thursday morning, I had to start a liquid diet, and it was a clear liquid diet. So it was, water, or you could have ginger ale. You could have, Kool-Aid, or it just had to be liquid that you could literally see through. Even if it was colored, you could see through it. It was fine. You have to stay away from red liquids. So I could do popsicles, I did water, I did juice, I did chicken bouillon, and that was pretty much it all day long. And I'll tell you, my mindset was so focused on the procedure that I really wasn't hungry. And I know that that is all right here, and I'm learning that with some of the other things going on in my life. But there's a possibility that you are going to get hungry. But I'm going to tell you that it is super, super, super important to do the clear liquids. Excuse me. Because later, when you have to do your prep, clear liquids are going to be of benefit for you. So I did the clear liquid. At 6 p.m., I was asked to start drinking the prep solution, which was the big jug. And you needed to drink 8 ounces pretty quickly, like if you could chug it every 10 minutes, till half of it was gone. So I had to drink half a gallon, and it had to be done between 6 and 8 p.m. I finished at exactly 8 p.m. I'm going to tell you the solution was very salty. It tasted like a salt water rinse, if you've ever done that. And we typically don't swallow a saltwater rinse, so it was a little difficult to get down at first. If you're into blocking your nose, you could do that too. It really wasn't that bad. It was more of the aftertaste, and I would just kind of chase it with some regular water. That way I could get the taste out of my mouth, the salt out of my mouth. So at first, I was kind of sipping it. I was doing 8 ounces and it would take a full 10 minutes. But then I reread and it said that you needed to drink it as quickly as possible. So I was drinking, it in like 4-ounce gulps. And so within a 5-minute, 3-minute span, I was done. And so I would wait 10 minutes and then I would start another one. And so like I said, it started at 6 and I ended the drinking of the half gallon at 8 p.m. For me personally, because I had had a meal, fairly large meal, Wednesday night, that still needed to process through my body. And so at almost exactly at 8 o'clock is when I started having to go to the bathroom. It wasn't a very strong urge. It was just a normal urge to go to the bathroom. And it was as if once that food that I had eaten the night before had gone through, then the rest of it was just literally liquid. It was just water or whatever was left over. And so from about 8 o'clock till about 9:30, 10 o'clock is when I went to bed. I was going to the bathroom maybe every half hour, getting that little urge to go. And I'm going to warn you, and here's where the TMI comes from. If you think you get a fart, it's probably not a fart. It's probably going to be liquid that's going to come out, so you better go to the bathroom. The prep it means business. It's to clear your entire intestines and your colon out so that it is a clear, clean visual when the doctor goes in there to check out what needs to be checked out, especially if you're having an endoscopy and a colonoscopy, okay? You need to clear that whole system out. I got up probably one time during the night. It was probably around 2 in the morning when I had a little bit of an urge to go. And at that point, it was just liquid. I felt like I was peeing out my butt. So then the next morning, I had to wake up at 6 and start the second half of that jug. So I started drinking at 6. I would say by 7 o'clock, I was already going to the bathroom because it literally was just going right through. And then again at 8 o'clock was when I took my last sip of the jug and I was done. My procedure was at 11. So honestly, I probably went to the bathroom 3 or 4 more times after I finished the jug. And at that point it was very clear. It had kind of a yellowish tint, I'll be honest. And they said as long as it's either clear or a little yellow, then you've cleaned out what you need to clean out. Because most of the yellow is sometimes just acid residue going through your stomach. So that was it. And then once I got in the car and I went to the hospital to have the procedure done, I really didn't need to go anymore. I didn't get any cramping. I was not in this agonizing feeling ever of needing to go to the bathroom. It was just that normal urge that you get when you feel you need to go to the bathroom. I did pee a lot, obviously, because there was a lot of liquids that I was drinking from Thursday into Friday morning. Could not eat. All I did was take water with my medicine on Friday morning. And then I went and had the procedure. Now, the procedure itself was pretty quick. They gave me a drug called Propofol. Propofol? Propofol, I think that's what it's called. And it basically just puts you to sleep. And you don't remember anything, you don't feel anything, and it allows them to do the procedure. Now, I have sleep apnea, so they ended up putting a tube down my throat just so that I could not, so my tongue wouldn't go back, to make sure that the airway stayed clear while I was doing it. I laid on my left side. They kind of wrapped me up like a burrito in the sheets with my hands down by my side. I'm assuming just so that I wouldn't like hit them or flail on them or whatever. And it literally took 3-4 seconds for me to fall asleep after they put the drug into my IV. My IV was on the back of my hand. Not so much fun. They did put me, they did give me some liquids before the actual procedure started, just to make sure I wasn't dehydrated. And then they said that they did the endoscopy first, and then they went and did the colonoscopy. And then the next thing I knew, I was waking up, and I think it had only been about half an hour to an hour for the procedure itself. And I think that time frame depends on what they find, if they have to remove anything, polyps and that sort of thing. So that could vary. And then I woke up and I remember telling them, because usually when I have anesthesia, I wake up crying profusely, having no idea why I'm crying, but laughing at the fact that I'm crying and shaking. Like my whole body just kind of quivers like it's cold. And with this drug, that didn't happen. And matter of fact, it took maybe all but 5 minutes for me to fully wake up. And other than being tired the rest of the day and the following day, I had absolutely no pain. I had no ramifications of the drug that they gave me. And as Sunday morning, I woke up just as good as new. So the process really isn't that scary. It's not something that you need to worry about. The prep is not fun. I mean, it is what it is, right? They're forcing you to go to the bathroom and to clean out your intestines and your colon and that sort of thing. So it's not anything that you need to worry about. That's kind of how I feel. So the reason that they do endoscopies and colonoscopies is mainly to find out if you have cancer in your intestines or in your colon, maybe an ulcer. They're looking for ulcers, that sort of thing. So it's primarily to make sure that your inside digestive system is working properly and that you don't have anything in there that could cause concerns later. Polyps typically are either cancerous, non-cancerous or precancerous. A polyp can grow into cancer, but a polyp itself is a precancerous potential cell. They did remove 5 from my colon, 1 from my stomach, and they did do a biopsy in my stomach. From what I'm understanding, the biopsy was just to make sure nothing was going wrong for my next surgery that I'm going to be having. The pathology report where they send the polyps in to be checked takes about 7 to 10 days, they said. So, you know, you wait and hopefully have a follow-up appointment with your doctor in order to find out what the pathology report came back as, if you had anything removed. So I hope you found this helpful. I know it was a little bit TMI, but it is something that I think all of us have to go through at some point in our life, some earlier than later. And other than that, if you do have to have one done, I wish you good luck. And I hope your pathology reports, if you have one, come back negative. So if you have any questions, let me know. Have an amazing day and go pay it forward with kindness. Bye.